Brooks Cabina from the Advocates. You know, after a couple of weeks entering spring football, I mean, what are the things that you're starting to work on more from last year to this? The things that you want to improve on the most for you?
One of the biggest things I wanted to work on, and I talked with Coach O about it, was working on my hands, using my hands, being more versatile with using my hands. And I feel like if I do a better job at using my hands, I can make more plays and keep the opponent's offensive lineman off me.
Hey, Amos Morale from WWL Radio. Coach O said last night on one of the radio stations that you might be the most improved player on the team. What did you focus on that would give him that impression?
Oh well, last year a lot of times I second guess myself. So now I'm not gonna second guess myself this year. And like I said, one of my biggest things was working on using my hands more, and that's one of the things that I aimed at before spring started. Now that spring is actually here, we're going against our offensive linemen and things like that. Working on using my hands, creating separation, and really just not second guessing myself.
Hey, Damone, this is Glenn West here. Obviously you guys bring in Blake Baker this year to coach you guys up at linebacker. I'm curious, maybe what you've learned from him. I know you've only been, together for a couple weeks now, but just what are your early impressions of him, and just kind of how has he helped maybe in your development here?
Man, Coach Baker might be one of the coolest coaches I ever met, and actually have coached me. Just like small tendencies that he had taught me. Like he taught me like a lot in the short period of time that he's been here, and then, like he's one of the guys that told me, like we're gonna correct the errors. Just don't second guess yourself. Go out there and pull the trigger.
I mean, obviously, you're kind of, with Micah gone and Mike Jones not there, you're kind of one of the few older guys in that room. I guess what are you seeing from that room and some of those younger guys so far?
I mean, we all got room for improvement. Everybody on the team has room for improvement. But like you said, I'm the old head in the room, so like just seeing guys like Jared Smalls, Josh White, Antoine Sampa. We got guys like that that's, what I'm saying, that didn't really play last year, but now they see, like, they step into the role and having to play. Just seeing guys like that every day just get better and better. Oh, yeah, I can't forget about Bug. Bug, like when I say, hey, we put them pads on, if you want to know a thumper, hey, Bug, you got. But in Bug too, just seeing Bug, like Bug coming here from JUCO, like he didn't know nobody at first, so he was quiet at first. But now that he know us, he know his team, he's more open, and this is an open competition in the room. Each day, Coach O said the depth chart is the same, so it's like every day, what I'm saying, you can be up today, down tomorrow, and you just, you never know.
And from the defenses that you've seen throughout your career here, it's kind of been long term. Like you said, you're kind of the old head in the room. What have you seen most in this defense? Ogeron was saying like y'all really just put in one base one to start with and one blitzing one. How are they building this to the point where you're being able to be confident and communicate with the defense?
Well, this is a bully defense. This is a gapped out defense. It's tendencies with everything that you do. So you just got to know the small tendencies, and we have plays that are similar to each other, just with different packages, and that makes my confidence like grow even more, and as well as those that's on the defense with me.
Hey, Damone, Jacques from Channel 9. I just wanted to ask you, a year ago at this time, was everybody kind of fat and happy? I mean, were you satisfied? And how can you compare that to this year? Is there more of a case of people are uncomfortable, they're motivated, they're angry? I mean, how would you describe it this year as opposed to last year?
Well, I say maybe going into last year, going into the spring, we was just coming off a championship, so I can say we had the big head. We didn't think that it would be the way that it was, but going through the season that we had, we have most of our guys that came back this year, so we all got that chip on our shoulder. We see it. What I'm saying, this is LSU. What I'm saying, like everybody want to beat LSU. And just going off the season that we had last year, it wasn't the LSU standard. So we know, and we identified the problem, and we all want to be that achieving team that we know that we can be.
If I can ask you a follow up, guys like you, Neil Farrell, Glenn Logan, Stingley, all you guys who went through the best and the worst. Do you guys have conversations about getting it back to where it was?
All the time, and like we have to. Those are conversations that you have to have. We're the leaders on the team. We're the older heads on the team, so we got guys that's looking at us. So the team gonna only do what they see us do, and it's not just people on the defense. You can't forget about Andre Anthony. He's one of the vocal leaders on the team. Also, you can't forget about Miles. Kayshawn says things. Jure, you got guys that we know what it takes. Like Kayshawn wasn't here, but last year was his first year, but he know the LSU standard. He saw it. He was getting recruited at the time. So it's like we all know the LSU standard that we have to perform to. And last year we didn't do that, but this is a new year. Most of our team came back every day at practice. We know that these things that we know every day at practice. We didn't have spring last year, so So this time right now is important for us to, continue to build our foundation, and just really just go out there, compete with each other every day, get each other every day, get each other better every day, because the best guys we're gonna see is the people we play against every day at practice.
Thanks.
Two more Brooks.
Hey, Damone, you were talking about second guessing, and now you're not doing that anymore. I can imagine after a year like last year, it's hard to regain confidence. At what point did you regain confidence? Was there a conversation or a moment that kind of helped you get back to this, or are you still even working toward that still?
Every day there's room for me to get better every day. Like I know I'm nowhere near where I want to be, and every day as I continue to, go through spring practice, continue to have meetings with the coaches and, just continue to learn the defense, I just think my confidence grow more and more every day. Like, last year, it was different last year, but I know what I have to do now, I know I have a lot of people looking at me, so it's just the thing that, like the coaches, like we have the best coaches, like hands down, and like we identified the problem, we watched the good and bad, and like I know like what I have to do now.
Hey, Damone, you may have kind of just answered that, but my question was more of the general vibe. Do you feel like it's a much more healthy building now? Do you guys feel like, we're all pulling the same direction, kind of moving past last year?
Yes, sir. I would say we all moving in the same direction. Like last year that's a year that nobody will ever forget. Through COVID, all those different things. So everyone in this building has one common goal in mind. We want to host the trophy again. We want to be champions again, and we have the coaches that know what it takes. We have coaches that came in that knows what it takes. All us just pulling on the same rope. Each and every day. Then you don't have to worry about the building being toxic. Our head man, Coach O, that's the standard of LSU. He sets the standard, and he holds the leaders on the team to set the standard to the younger guys, and he holds everyone accountable. You can be a walk-on scholarship player. It don't matter. Like the LSU standard is the LSU standard, and we know. If you ain't performing to the LSU standard, you're not gonna play. Like straight up, or you're not gonna be here. So we know. The head guy, Coach O, he set the standard. We know the standard. I know the standard. Guys on the team know the standard. The coaches know the standard. So as long as we all continue to, know the standard and keep working every day, then we're going to be good.
Thank you, Damone.
Appreciate it.